Hi, I'm Reese.
Hey, I'm Clay.
I'm Alicia.
I'm Stuart, Ware Bully, and you're watching the AU Review.
Well, guys, welcome to Australia.
Thank you.
Thanks.
You've been here for a few days. You've already played a show in a pizza rock and roll bar. How have your impressions been of Australia so far? How'd the show go?
I just don't really want to leave.
Yeah, we've been looking at property and stuff and thinking about just, we're kind of maybe just being done with music. We're just going to become Australians.
There's a unit in the Airbnb that we're staying at that's for rent, so we've been throwing around options.
Yeah, next month. Clay and I watched some HGTV last night,
Ooh.
getting the feel for the gardening
Spicy.
style down here.
Getting that gardening scene, getting that on match.
Important.
It's very important. It's very important.
Different fauna, flora, whatever one I'm talking about.
And how does based on your limited experience with Australian audiences so far, how are they comparing to the rest of the world?
100%.
More attractive, nice.
Everybody is really ripped and beautiful here. It's really intimidating.
We had that show was awesome. Frankie's crowd was really great.
Did you get to have some of the pizza?
Yes.
We had some pizza.
I mean, we had their apple. They have like juicers, the apple drinks. Yeah, we went to town on those.
It's dangerous because it just tastes like healthy apple juice. I'm being really healthy tonight, but it's like vodka or whiskey.
Yeah, I was really healthy that night.
I was really healthy too.
Did you feel healthy the next morning?
I felt definitely healthy the next morning.
Yeah.
It's good to see a band get out here on a debut album cycle. It's not always something that's possible. So I've gotten to see you once, very briefly at Lollapalooza earlier this year. And in the kind of 6 months since then, I imagine you guys haven't really stopped. Because that was kind of the start of the album cycle. Now you're heavily into it.
Yeah.
How do you look back on the last 6 months? How do they feel for you? Have you stopped?
No.
I don't. I still feel like we're in the 6 months.
Yeah, we're still, yeah.
We were telling some
just been
story
on the
about
road.
Chicago, which was like, I don't even know. I
months
guess it was
ago?
2 months ago, but it doesn't. It feels like the combination of 2 years ago and 2 days ago right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy.
How do you feel that you've developed as a band in that period? Do you feel stronger? Do you feel tighter? Do you feel louder?
Actually, to be totally honest, I mean, there's certain shows where I feel tight, but sometimes when you play every night, it would be really nice to just stop and be able to actually practice, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But I definitely feel like we're a lot better at rolling with the punches when it comes to live stuff, and we're just like a lot more laid back. When it comes to our live performance, which isn't something that I would expect anybody would notice other than us, but I definitely feel more comfortable. Like, if something happens or doesn't go 100%, I'm not like, what the fuck is going on? I'm just, gonna deal with it as it goes.
Yeah, I think that now there's almost times when you're playing on borrowed gear or things are kind of weird or shitty that it's almost kind of fun because it's something a little bit different. It's like a different challenge because we played the same thing for so long now.
It's like we've just done so many shows. There will be certain sound checks where I can just tell that, like, there's no way I'm going to hear my vocal in the system. And I'll just be like, could I get more vocal? But if I don't get it and can't hear it at all, it's not the worst thing that happens because I've probably dealt with it before. Like, little things like that you've just already had to deal with.
Yeah, or like I had a drum set, and the rental drum set for the UK was like jumping around all the time, and it drove me crazy, and it was annoying, but at least it was somewhat entertaining. Like, I don't know, like it made for something a little bit different.
I think that the tightness comes in waves of, a few shows at a time where we feel like we've really nailed a few shows in a row, and then maybe you'll kind of, for us, it'll dip down a little bit, and then you'll be able to bring it back up again.
Mm-hmm. Does anything surprise you about that? Like, do you think, has anything really surprised you in the last year of touring heavily outside of America and off the back of the record that you never expected to be the case when you toured?
I definitely think it's weird how much like the weather and where you are can kind of affect the show. And it's definitely surprising to me how much the reaction of the audience affects the show. Because I didn't feel like that initially. I felt like I was kind of like, either way. And I still do feel like either way we're obviously going to play. But I think when you have to do it night after night, it's a lot more enjoyable when people are like losing their shit as opposed to people just like standing there and you're like, do you hate this or what's going on? Because we just traveled like 2 days to get here right now. And so I never really thought so much about how much, and the weather too. It's like if you go from 3 weeks kind of really cold rain, it has a huge impact on you. Like when we got over here, it was just like a layer of fresh skin, I almost feel like, because
We had very fresh skin.
well, now we do. 'Cause
It
it's
is
all
peeling
peeled
off me right now.
Yeah, you don't want to see my back right
Yeah.
now. When you get back to the States, you're going to be touring with Mets and doing some shows around the place. They're getting back into cold territory, so
Yeah.
enjoy it while it lasts.
Yeah. But we'll be with Mets, and I've been looking forward to that tour for forever.
Have you played with those guys before?
I've never seen them. All we've heard is like how amazing they are live, and I love their music, so I'm so excited for that.
They're very good. Yeah.